So today we're going to be doing a review on the miter saw station that I built March 2019. I've used it just over a year, and there is some stuff I'd like to do to it that would help things out, and maybe it'll help you out if you decide to make one too. The first spot we're going to talk about is the overhead storage. I didn't really think it'd be that useful, but come to find out, this actually holds quite a bit of stuff. But the problem I'm having is with my quart cans of paint, polyurethane, and my spray paints. It's really hard to get to them without taking a lot of stuff out. Then you have to put it all back up there. I think on the spray cans, it would be either best for them to lay down in maybe a drawer or some kind of vertical storage or something like that. Because by the time you pull them all out, 9 times out of 10, the one you're looking for is in the back, then you got to put it all back up. So anyhow, that's one of the spots that I'd like to improve on. I don't think it'd be that hard, but that's one of the things that kind of irritates me on the overhead storage. The next spot I'd like to talk about is the storage that I keep my power tools. Now, I also keep some accessories for these also, but when I first built this, there was enough room for my routers and jigsaw tools like that. But since then, I've accumulated a few more tools, and I think what I'm going to have to do is maybe make some room under the miter saw where I've just got a set of doors that's just collecting junk now. I can put some drawers down there and put some more power tools, and it will help organize that area a little bit better. So the next thing that needs some improvement is the dust collection on the planer. Now the planer is set up on some drawer slides and casters, so you can just pull it out from under the miter saw station when you need it. You can just slide it back up under there when you don't need it. The only problem is there's not a lot of room to keep the dust collection hooked to it all the time. So when you pull it out, you have to hook it up. When you put it back up under there, you have to unhook it. That's something that I'd like to improve on. The only problem is limited space. I'm gonna have to get real creative to do that. Also, the next thing, it's not really that big a thing to me. It might be to you, depending on what kind of projects you do. The dust hood and the miter saw. The dust hood works pretty good. The only problem, when you go to make a compound miter cut, your saw is going to hit the hood over here. So that's something I'd like to improve on in the future. Maybe make something up here that can slide back and forth for those times that you need to make a miter cut. Other than that, this ain't too bad. Like I said, I hardly ever use the saw to make a compound miter cut. So for me, it's not that big a deal. If you do a lot of those cuts, you might want to think about that if you're building one. Alright y'all, the next thing is a spindle sander. I was trying to incorporate this into the miter saw station when I built it to where it would be out of the way when I was not using the miter saw. I think I've done a pretty good job of that. The only thing is, when you want to cut it on and off, you have to reach way up under the cabinet to do that. So anyhow, that's the only thing. I think it'd be pretty easy to fix that. I can put a power button out here close to the edge and make that pretty convenient. It's the only thing with a spindle sander. Now the dust collection on the spindle sander really is not that good, so something that you might want to consider. You might not even want this spindle sander in the miter saw station, but if you do it like this, make sure that spindle is far enough back to where if you're cutting a long board on the miter saw, it's not getting in the way of it. Alright y'all, the next spot that kind of drives me crazy, I wish I would have done this when I first built the miter saw station, and I didn't think I would need that many drawers, but this area right here under the drill press, I'm really using it just for some cutoffs right now and my saw. But anyhow, this is a spot that I'll probably put some drawers in and use for storage. So that's the main things I'd like to improve on the miter saw station. I don't think they're really that big a deal. The dust collection on the planer might be the most challenging part. If I could get that figured out, it'd be really good. Most of it's just storage organization, I think. You know, if you decide to build a miter saw station, you know, just try to plan it out ahead of time, realize what kind of projects you're going to be doing, and just kind of build your miter saw station according to that. I don't think you need to build it just like somebody else's, because everybody works different, has different priorities, you know, has a different setup. My shop is 12 foot by 22 foot, I believe, and I really didn't think in the beginning that putting a big miter saw station in this part of the shop would really help organize it some. But if you saw it before I put this in there, you had tools sitting on makeshift tables all around the shop, having to move stuff back and forth because you're just working over yourself. So just try to think and figure out what kind of miter saw station you need and what you're going to be using it for, and you know, just build it according to that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all got some useful information out of it. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel already, go on and hit the subscribe button, and I will see y'all on the next one.